Yay.
Oh, Poppy's Pizza.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget Poppy's.
It's kind of the stepchild we say sometimes, but we're just kidding.
Everybody grab your glass. Welcome to the champagne side. We have two very special guests. I'll let you guys introduce yourself.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm Esli Perez, and I'm joined by my husband, Johnny Perez. We're the owners of Mercado, soon to be Spoken Ivy, and Ducky's as well.
Yay.
Oh, Poppy's Pizza.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget Poppy's.
It's kind of the stepchild we say sometimes, but we're just kidding.
The stepchild that just posted that they have the best wings in Fort Wayne.
They are so good.
I haven't tried the wings there yet.
I don't know why I don't pay attention to it much, because I think we probably eat there, like 2 times a week?
Oh, my gosh. That's so
yeah,
funny.
at least, because my
Right.
daughter and they're always asking for Poppy's Pizza, and we're like, it's easy.
It is easy. The taco pizza we
Yeah.
got
Oh,
this
yeah,
summer.
it was
Oh, my
so
gosh. You guys,
good.
that was amazing.
And
So
is
good.
that like wood burning, right? Or
It's a brick oven, yeah. It's a brick oven.
Okay.
So everyone thinks it's a wood fire oven because it looks like it, but it is an imported Italian oven. It's like gets super hot. It's like a rotating table
Nice.
inside, but
Nice.
it's artisanal oven for sure.
I love Poppy's Pizza.
Love
It's
that.
a go-to.
Yeah,
It's
thank
easy
you.
too when you live in West Central and downtown. It's like you want something easy and chill, like just go into Poppy's Pizza, and it still has the atmosphere around there of the landing, so it makes it like special. But okay, already off topic, which is totally what this is like all the time.
Yeah.
But let's I kind of want to go way back to how did you guys meet and how did this all come about?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we want to get to know, get to know you
you
guys.
and your
Yeah,
background
yeah.
and how everything came to be.
okay. I'll talk a little bit about how we met. If you want to transition into the business side.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
let's do that. He's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, we
I'll do
met
whatever you
in
say.
high school when we were 16. It was like a chance meeting because my friends were dating one of his friends, and we just kind of met that day. And he asked for my number at that time. This was like when it was not so creepy to do that kind of stuff. I feel.
Social media, like
Go to
Yeah.
school around here.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
at we met, and it was the Rave Motion Pictures.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but we just went to differing like high schools, so
Okay.
Right.
without our friends like introducing us, we never would have met.
Okay.
And then from then on, we just started talking, and then started dating, and here we are. 15 years later? So it's been a hot
Right,
minute for sure.
a
Yeah.
hot fucking
Awesome.
minute.
Yeah, and we have 2 kids and a boy and a girl, so we got lucky.
I think I see them running around in Canella.
I'm sure you
Oh, yeah.
Does Flora watch them a lot?
when she can.
When
My
she
my
can.
mom's busy. Yeah, she
Okay.
owns Canella.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they own Picoso as well. So
Okay.
She's always so nice when I go in there, Hunter and I, my husband, and I love her. And
Yeah.
I love that coffee shop. It's like vouch for me. I
Yeah,
go there
it is.
like
You go there a lot.
every
Yeah,
day.
yeah, it is.
I
I
love
love
it.
Canella. Yeah.
But yeah, so that sounds awesome. That's super cute. And you guys are from Fort Wayne, born and raised here, right? So flash forward a little bit. How did Te Gusta, right, come about?
Yeah, so I've been in the restaurant business pretty much my whole life.
Okay.
After-
Yeah, I guess where did you start?
So basically, I would say first cooking job. So my dad has a restaurant in California, actually.
Okay.
So we were just working there in the high school summers, washing dishes and stuff like that.
Nice.
And
it's Italian too. It's not Mexican. A lot of people think it's Mexican, but it's Italian.
Okay. yeah.
so-
Really cute. Yeah, I love it.
so it's an Italian restaurant over there, but I didn't live with my dad. My parents separated when we were like really young.
Okay.
So I just started visiting him like more consistently in high school, and I'm not sure if we caught a bug or whatever it is. I've always wanted to open a restaurant since as far as I can remember.
Right.
But I have, so I play The Sims 2 open for business all the time.
You guys are aging us all now.
Yeah.
On the
So
computer, like setting up shop.
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, so I mean that's something I've always wanted to do. But in high school, I went to Anthony's Career Center here downtown.
Okay.
So graduated from Southfield High School. So that program got me into the culinary field and whatnot. I'm going to give you like a very like redacted version. So I went to Johnson and Wales in Rhode Island for culinary school.
Okay.
So I had formal training and everything like that. Came back to IPFW because we had just started dating at the time, and I was in the East Coast. I came back to
She's
the
like,
Midwest.
yeah,
Can't
you
do
need
that.
to come back.
Yeah.
Long distance. is
Literally,
tough.
so I came back to do hospitality management at IPFW. So I was working at so I came back and worked in front of the house at that time. So I was doing greeting, food running, that kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
So anyways, did the restaurants while I was going to college for a couple years, and I ended up going to work for James Caan at Baker Street.
Oh,
So I was
wow.
a server
Oh,
at the
yeah.
time, and that's when I was building the Hopping Gnome. Went to
Yep.
manage with him for a
Yeah.
few years. I was the opening head chef at Proximo, and that's catching you up to 2018 now at that
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
And right around that time, talking with Esli, like, you know what? I feel like I wanted to be a head chef. I feel like I'm doing it, but it might not be what I feel like is giving me like that full sense of fulfillment.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's when we started drafting the Mercadito food truck, which is, brings us 2019.
Yep.
Yep.
So we opened the food truck. Brendan from Utopian reaches out. Hey.
The best.
Oh, yeah.
I
Brendan's awesome.
Love him.
So Brendan
Love him.
is literally like the core founder of our whole De Gustó, honestly, because
Okay.
if it wasn't for him, he was the community manager. Yep. So he was the
He's
community
the best.
manager
So
for.
nice to have people
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And I had met him just passing when he was installing coffee machines for our other concepts that we were doing
Right.
with James, right? So he's like, hey, I know you're on your own. Come look at the landing. I'm like, the landing? We just opened this little food truck. Like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? So anyways, we get in contact with Model Group there,
Yeah.
and we have no money outside of maxing out credit cards to the food truck. Like, why are they talking to us? And one thing leads to another. We talk to the right people. We find some investors that want to invest with us at the time. COVID hits 2020, 2021 time frame,
Right.
and we're like, I think we got to pull out of doing this restaurant. Like, there's no way that we can survive. Best restaurants are closing down, but our investors stuck with us. Model Group stuck with us. And, we ended up opening Mercado. We just, 4th birthday right now.
Yeah,
February,
I was going to say this week, right?
Wow.
Yep.
I love that's
Yeah.
like a Cinderella story. I love that. That's awesome. Good
Yeah, that
investors
is
that saw the
nice.
vision.
They stuck with
and-
us, and it
Yeah.
wasn't for them. I think anyone would have been as scared to just say, you know what, we're okay.
Right.
Restaurants are already very, vulnerable, scary business to invest in.
Yeah.
For sure.
So imagine COVID on top of that. Like,
Yeah.
what's the
Right.
point?
You're
So
like,
Sure.
is this gonna float or sink?
yeah, and that's the scariest part right now as we're scaling. We ended up taking over the pizza place next door, Papa's
Yeah.
Pizza. We cut out a hole in the prep room, so now the prep rooms are
Oh, that's
connected.
nice.
Oh, combined.
So we
with
Cool.
jump between both spaces
Oh,
behind
yeah.
the scenes.
Nice.
And Poppy's just turned
That's
1 year
smart.
old, and Spoken Ivy. For everyone watching, I'm not sure when this
So
will air,
Yeah.
but we just got our final inspection finally. But that's been a long time coming.
That is
That's
a
a cheers,
cheers
yeah.
today.
Agreed.
It
Uh,
is.
We are really looking forward to that.
I almost chugged that too much. Fast. Celebrating too early, but
Never too early to celebrate that.
But I guess
We will be open by Valentine's Day now,
Perfect.
so we're really, really excited. I'm just hoping people will come out to celebrate, even if it's just like celebrating being here.
Yeah.
in Fort
Right.
Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
No,
so.
I'm so excited.
we're
And
there.
that's like
We're
one-
there.
Yeah, and that's like one topic we did want to talk about because it's obviously your guys' baby right
baby.
now.
Yep.
It's like the newest venture going on. So what came about with Spoken Ivy and Black Rabbit and all that? How did that all?
Well, actually, her parents were looking at the space initially because they were looking to do a coffee shop there.
Right. So John Thomas
okay.
did give us a little bit of that,
Yep.
which I think he's our second episode. So
Oh, yeah,
everyone
that'd
will
be
kind
cool.
of have that insight.
Mhm.
So he told us a little bit about that, but we want to hear your perspective.
Yeah, like how important.
Well,
it
I
is.
didn't want to touch it, honestly, at the beginning. I'm like, this place needs work. This thing is literally like a 120-year-old building.
Yeah.
That was my perspective. I'm not sure what you thought as far as like the initial idea of it, because we were just getting started with Mercado. So like, this is 2 years ago.
Right.
Right.
Mercado's still 2 years. Think about it in kid years, 2-year infant,
Yeah,
baby, toddler.
right. And then
Why are you thinking
Poppy's
about
on
the
top
next
of
baby?
it right
Yeah.
after, and
So
now you're diving into this.
For me, I was very hesitant as far as explaining our relationship. I'm more like, I would say, reserved, more calculated, less risky. But she's definitely the risk taker. Let's do it. So I'll let
like,
her explain
let's
her
do it.
perspective.
I did not have any plans to take the building either. My mom told me, she's like, I like this building, but I don't have the ability to do it right now. She was opening up Electric Works at the time.
Oh, right.
So she was like, you should just take a look at it though. Like, maybe you'll like it for a business. And I was like, I doubt it, but I'm such a visual spatial person that like, I swear I stepped foot in that building, and I was like, I can just imagine the bar being here and the lighting. I love the lighting. I love how it looks.
All those windows.
So I was just like, oh my gosh, Johnny, I love this space and the historic, appeal to it all. I was just like, Mercado's a new build, so it does have like that new and shininess to it, but this one had just so much character.
Yeah.
Which I just feel like, you guys live in West Central, so when you step into the building, you're like,
you're
love
mind
it.
blown.
You're like, there's a history here, and we can grow
and then being able
build
to design on top of that, and like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want it to look like, with all the historical charm that's already there. It just makes it so exciting.
So did you pick a lot of the like colors, textures, and girl?
Yeah,
really?
so
It
I
is
love
unreal.
Yeah, thank you.
I
love designing. I love designing spaces. I designed Mercado. I designed Papi's Pizza and this space now and Black Rabbit. So I love being able to like get into a space and making it become like the ambiance that you want it to be.
Yeah.
So it was all these spaces have been so personal to me. And Spoken Ivy, I feel like, is exactly what I want it to be. So it just feels so personal. So I'm just really excited to have people in the space. But yeah, I mean, the Black Rabbit was actually just a surprise add-on. I don't even remember. That was not in the initial plan. I don't remember how that came about.
He was just looking for a coffee shop, and then you guys decided to do
like,
a restaurant.
Yep, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's like when they got into the deep part of the renovation, they realized that some of the floor joists were like kind of rotted out because it was all old school wooden beam joists, right? So when they had to restructure all that foundation, they found out that they could raise the ceiling. So that gave us the minimum clearance that you need to allow the general public down there.
Right.
So I remember talking to John Thomas. I'm like, why do you guys want to do stores down here? Like, why don't we just do a bar? And we didn't have any financing yet. We're like, let us do a bar.
You guys are like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it big.
This is exactly like we've been talking about the vibe that you guys have. Like we've been wanting that vibe in Fort Wayne.
That nobody has.
We are big fans of that.
I feel like most of our hobby is eating out other restaurants, and like luckily we have family sprinkled throughout the United States, and I feel like every time we go to a bigger city, like why do we always have to go to the bigger city to get that that vibe, right?
That's exactly it.
So I think that that's one thing that the restaurants that we're building is the restaurants we want to go to, and I think when you do business that way versus what's the most profitable, things just naturally line up, right?
And I think especially nowadays, not to cut you off though, especially my generation, I feel like everybody, they want that vibe these days. They want to go into a space and feel that aesthetic, like all your designs, like that's what brings people in now. It's so important. It plays a big part. And that's why I'm so excited. But what are your plans with Spoken Ivy? Like, what is the vibe? What do you want everything to be as far as like the ambiance day to night? What kind of food are you going to have on the menu? Maybe what's your favorite dish that's going to be on the menu?
Yeah, I think building off her like design aesthetic and whatnot, I think we're kind of very self-conscious about like where we're building, the street we're on, the neighborhood we're building in, right?
Yeah.
It's a big vein leading outside of downtown. It's not the same as Mercado and the Landing, which is a density, right? So I think we want to capture sort of that neighborhood essence, because during the day we'll have more of a cafe-like atmosphere. We have an espresso machine, we'll have lattes, we'll have sandwiches. Things are like $9, quick grab and go type things.
Perfect.
But you'll still be able to get a lobster roll. You'll be able to get, crepes. So if you want to dress it up, dress it down, all of our brands, I call it, they have this economic elasticity, right?
Right.
Where like you can scale it up or scale it down. Mercado, get some tacos or get a steak, right? And we have that. I think that's where we're building brands that fit the Fort Wayne demographic. I grew up in the 07 and, right by Southgate Plaza. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, I never got to eat at a place like this that we're building, but how do we create this spectrum of place that can be many things?
Right.
And I think that's where Spoken Ivy is going to really excel, I feel, is that you can, again, be both things. The restaurant, I want to give you the fanciest restaurant, but if you want a cup of coffee and a donut, have it in that space. It doesn't have to be in a little shack, right?
Right.
Come in, let me oversell the space, and that way the donut's that much more valuable to you, right?
Exactly.
I love that.
Dinner, we'll service, we'll have some steak options.
Okay.
Probably I think what I'm looking forward to the most is going to be, sounds so random, but just some marinated cucumbers, right? They're like little Asian cucumbers, garlic chili.
I love that.
It's like a snacky food. It's like cucumbers.
I love
it's like if you go to like I'll say soup dumpling places, they have like these cucumbers marinated in a little bit of MSG powder, some chili, some garlic, some sesame oil.
I just remember on TikTok the cucumber salad was a trend.
Yeah. So take that.
Like the same thing.
Take what they built basically And it's one thing that if it wasn't for, I think, that TikTok trend, people would never try cucumbers in that way.
Right.
Because it makes them savory in a way.
Yeah.
But that's a favorite item for me that I'm looking forward to. What about you? As far as, I think it builds into more about what Black Rabbit's going to be, your intent for that.
Oh, yeah. Switch into that because
Okay.
that's like guys...
I want a reserved table.
I do
Yeah.
too. I'm like, can
I
you
wanna be
call
there
and
all the
reserve a
time.
table?
I wanna be
Can
there
I buy
every
a
night.
table for like 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, the champagne side. We'll have
Yeah.
our own little.
I'll buy into the table.
I think what we're going for there is more that, like atmosphere, like smoky, elegant,
Well, tell
bougie a little
them
bit.
what the walls are.
Yeah, we've
Can
got.
we hint that?
I don't even know how to describe it. Like a velvety wallpaper that's red
It's ridiculous.
and has like a design.
Moody.
Yeah, it's super moody. It's super like elegant, I feel, but also just timeless. So I just feel like I want you to step in that space and not feel like you're in Fort Wayne, but you don't know where you
No,
could be.
You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I
You're
think
underground.
that's you're
Where are you
underground.
at?
You're in a
Yeah.
basement.
You can
But a fancy.
You can dress up. That's what I'm really looking
I'm
forward
really
to.
hoping everybody
I know.
dresses up to go down
Yeah.
there. Like
Yeah, me
it's
too.
that
Yeah.
date night vibe. Like everybody just goes down there to chill,
It's
vibe,
sexy.
drink.
It is just super,
Thank you.
super
Yeah,
sexy.
that's exactly what I was going for. I'm hoping to have some like jazz singers come
Yes.
live sometimes. Maybe even tap into some live shows. I was
Right.
talking. My friend, she's like really into the creative scene. She's
Okay.
like, I know this burlesque girl who does
I
like
was gonna
magic
say,
tricks.
yeah.
I was
Oh,
like, oh my
nice.
god, hook me up.
Cabaret.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be
Yeah,
something
Yeah, so
so
something like
interesting.
that where it's a really intimate setting, but you can still have like a big,
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So are you
I'm
guys
super
just
excited.
like focusing and tailing in on like special drinks down there?
Yes,
so?
yeah. We have been really, really blessed to have two of our management also be bartenders.
Okay.
And so they have created, I feel like they're going to feel very personal about the menu as well because they've
Right.
created every single item themselves and just like taken such good care of the menu. So I'm really excited to see that. A few favorites for mine is like we named all of the drinks after like rabbit stuff. So
fun.
so we've got like a Jessica Rabbit, which is like a spicy, smoky, like sexy style
Yeah.
cocktail,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then we've got like a Lola Bunny, which is more playful.
Yeah.
So definitely, I'm really excited to see those. We also started off with a carrot cake, which is so good. I'm a sucker for a carrot
my
cake.
God.
That's
yeah.
our favorite
Oh,
thing.
really? Okay,
Oh my
I'm a
gosh.
sucker for a
We're
carrot
like
cake.
You just spoke our
Whenever we
language
want a
so
carrot cake, we're
hard.
like, where do we go that's new that we haven't tried before?
Yes,
We
yeah.
love
Now we're
carrot
going to
cake.
Black
Yeah. Oh my
Rabbit.
god, and we
I
just
know
were
Hunter
like,
is gonna
let's
die
feed
not
into
hearing this right
let's
now.
feed into the rabbit theme.
Yes.
So let's do
Yeah.
carrots. So yeah, but
Yes.
that's kind of I'm really excited for it. It's really good. So
I'm so
that's
like the perfect
yeah.
spot to have carrot
We're
cake at
done,
Black
guys.
Rabbit. That is so nice.
I'm excited for that.
Dude, that's kind of like the concept for Black Rabbit, where like it will start with the rabbit theme, but I think we're gonna have a thematic like menu over time. Like imagine a Harry Potter themed cocktail menu.
Yes.
There will be
Right.
food down there, so there will be like more like snacky food, maybe
Okay.
like filet medallion bites, things like
Sure.
that. But anything that you want from upstairs, you want a steak downstairs from upstairs, we'll make it right. But it
Okay.
will feel like a. I don't want it to feel disconnected from upstairs. It's
Right.
an extension, so it's supposed to be your before dinner spot or your after dinner spot, right?
Right.
And our hours, we're hoping to aim for like Wednesday through Sunday, actually.
Nice.
And probably close around midnight. Nothing
Okay.
crazy great happens after 1 a.m. So
Yeah.
trying to
That's
Right.
true.
step into that area, but also be conscious of like not creating some kind of boisterous environment there that's outside
Right.
of the element we want
Yep.
to
Right.
execute.
Well,
on.
it is a
1000%.
neighborhood. and
It's
we
still a
wanna
neighborhood
be,
as well, right?
Conscious of
Um,
that. Be good neighbors.
And that area sounds like it's just going to be beautiful over there too when it's like
Everything that's
completely
going in.
done
Yeah.
and all the fun stuff and exciting things over there. So it's just going to like, I bet you guys have to be excited about this little area.
We're excited. It just has to work.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be open for Valentine's Day for Spoken Ivy. When do you plan on Black Rabbit to officially?
We kind of hope to open them right at the same time, actually.
Okay.
We thought about doing one, not the other, but I think if we train the way that we need to, we can slowly open the downstairs.
Right.
Or I just want to make sure we do execute on, again, Gustó Hospitality is like, let's be good at taking care of people. We can have flashy drinks, flashy food here and there, but none of it connects unless you just take care of people.
Right.
And I would hate to be that place where like, oh, look, it's a beautiful, J tile in the front, these fancy lights, and like, it's just okay, right?
Right.
And I think that's one thing is that there's a restaurant opening like almost every other week, it seems like sometimes.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that we connect with the community and connect with people. The rest, we can switch the menu 30 times, but hey, that's Spoken Ivy hospitality, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's really the seasoning of the secret sauce. Everyone's, how are you guys doing it? And I'm like, just take care of people. Go back, get off the spreadsheet,
Yeah.
So
I will say I felt so taken care of at every one of your restaurants.
Oh, 100%.
Like I absolutely love Mercado. Like we go there a lot, and
especially
the
in the
hostesses, the cooks, the bartenders, everyone is absolutely fantastic.
There.
So you guys have done a really good job.
Shout out to the staff.
Yeah. Yay.
Shout out to the staff. Who's your favorite? No, I'm just
Who's your least favorite?
Who's your least favorite?
I'm just kidding.
He's like, wait, no, I'm just kidding.
No.
So do you guys have anything else in the works or any other plans going on?
Okay, it wasn't
gosh.
supposed to happen this way, but we're looking like in March we will open another restaurant.
And what's that
Wow.
called?
That one is called Ducky's. That one feels very near and dear to us too. But again, there was supposed to be at least a 3-month gap, right? In between these. At least. Maybe
She's like,
Nothing
I
ever
can't
goes
stop
according to
designing.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this has nothing to do. Unfortunately, just because of a historic building,
Right.
you run into more things. So when it became time to put in the hood into the Spoken Ivy,
Okay.
that was really just a architectural wonderland, I'll say. Yeah, just
Okay.
trying to figure that
Yeah.
out. And so the initial plans were to put it on the side. That didn't work. So they ended up putting it on the roof. But of course, that took longer.
Right.
And then it just started rolling from weeks delay into months delay.
Right.
And so then all the while, we're still working on our other concept, which is called Ducky's. It is going to be on Pearl Street.
I know.
Yeah.
So we see all the
I
sneak
know.
peeks, and I'm sure everybody sees
Yeah.
all the
Yes,
sneak
yeah.
peeks.
I'm super excited for that one. So we
I'm
will
dying
be
to see where this penny tile is at in this space.
multiple spots.
I love it.
Is your sneak peek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duckies.
And what is the concept of Duckies?
Yeah, are you guys like
So-
allowed to talk about it a little bit?
No, yeah.
Okay.
We are.
I know everybody's like
allowed.
dying to hear
It's
about
theirs.
it.
They get to make their own rules.
So I think we're aiming for an elevated sports bar environment. We will also have 8 lanes of duck pin bowling.
Love it.
For our bar menu, we're leaning into the tiki cocktails a little bit.
Okay.
I love them. I think that you get a lot of flavors and a lot of fun garnishes, a lot of fun glassware. So I'm really excited for that. I think for the food menu, we're going to be looking at a lot of classics, just kind of elevate them and make them our own.
Yeah.
We're making our own breading. I mean, typically when we make the food, we make all of the elements that
are needed
for
pile it all
that. Yeah.
together.
So we're making our own bread for our burger. So I think it's going to be
Nice.
great. Yeah. And we're going to have like some really great local produce and product. Yeah.
So it sounds like it's a very playful environment. It's going to be very family oriented, I would assume.
I would say so. The one thing that with sports bar, you think very dive, right? But then you think, what bowling can be. I think we're going for like what I consider like a luxe sports bar. We want to be a restaurant first,
Right.
And duck pin is what you can do while you're there, right?
Okay.
Everyone in
Nice.
Fort Wayne's been asking for like a third space where it's not just sitting down, eating and drinking.
Yes.
Right.
I want an activity. And
Yes.
downtown, honestly, restaurants, they suffer in the winter because everyone
Yep.
thinks there's no parking, this and that.
Right.
And duck
Can't
pin
sit outside.
Yeah,
You
can't sit
can't-
outside. So
yeah.
I think the duck pin aspect's gonna really bring some sustainability to what I think an indoor facility can look like.
Right.
The menu wise, I think we're gonna have chicken strips, right? But we're getting a henny penny fryer. And the henny penny fryer is a pressure fryer, so a lot of your favorite fried chicken places use that. It makes it juicy, it makes it faster,
Yeah.
it's crispy. So
It's not just a chicken finger.
So I'm telling you,
it's the chicken finger.
I almost want you to do a food review when we sell these because, again, we put a lot of thought into what's the chicken strip, right?
Right, yeah.
You and Avery can go critique the chicken tender.
Yeah, I would love
my daughter is
video.
a chicken tender connoisseur.
I'll be there.
So
I'll be there to try.
To really summarize the food menu for what I really wanted it to be is, like, my favorite burger place is In-N-Out. So imagine In-N-Out and Dave's Hot Chicken have a baby. That's what's going to be for your lunch vibe. That's going to be your majority. But there's going to be some fun dinner entrees, though, too. We're going to have, like, a New York strip by Wood Farm, steak frites, right? Again, very simple. But if you want to, again, have a steak, let's do it. We'll have our Bayou rigatoni, house-made rigatoni pasta, some, andouille sausage, some shrimp.
Perfect.
So if you have, again, that family member that's, again, a different generation, is that when you can mesh the same generations in one place where you don't feel like I'm just doing this for my grandkids, I'm just doing this for my kids, you win 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And that space is somewhere where I want to bring my mom, I want to bring my daughter, I can bring my grandma, and they will have something they enjoy.
Everybody
and again, it's these people first places mindset, and I think that's really what Fort Wayne needs.
Agreed.
And that's our goal.
I have 4 teenagers, and they cannot agree on anything. And I mean, you guys have 2. I'm sure that they don't agree on anything. You're like, we're gonna go do something fun, and they're like, I don't want to. So yeah, it's real fun. But having a diverse menu and having entertainment of some sort is I love that idea
you guys
so
have
much.
Done is like insane. Oh, I have a question for you guys. Why downtown?
Do you want to go first, or
like why haven't you branched out? Like, I don't leave. Like, don't ever open anything that's not downtown.
Well, I mean,
they're like, we already are actually, and it wasn't planned. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, why downtown and like localized down here?
So I guess there's different ways I can explain this, right? Personally, economically, whatever you want to say, how Fort Wayne is growing. But downtown for me is that one area that doesn't have a specific demographic, right?
Yep.
Mercado, and I've said this before, is that it's the best dining room where I see people from my background, from your background, different income levels, all eating the same stuff,
Diversity.
right? And there's not a price point that can decide what you're deserving of, right? And I think downtown is the true embodiment of that. And I think that's why downtown, again, there's a lot of money behind it from the city, right? The riverfront liquor license is kind of more the technical aspect, is that the reason why you see so many new restaurants downtown is because the liquor licenses are very cheap, where you can get one, I think it's $2,500, right, with like $1,000 yearly renewal. But a new liquor license, like an actual 3-way where you can go anywhere in town, is like almost right now worth maybe $240,000.
Oh, wow.
So you won't find any new independent restaurateurs going southwest, going up north.
No way.
Because trust me, I want to go up north on DuPont. There's a lot of underserved community up there. A lot of people are moving to Auburn.
I agree with you, yes.
So you see this,
though I love downtown.
No, yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, think about the scarcity of like, even housing developments, right? So multiply that with the restaurants. It's kind of the same. They almost go hand in hand in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think downtown for me has soul, it has heart. And I think that's really why I feel like we're building downtown. And from an ownership level, I can literally walk between our places, you know what I mean, and make sure they're okay versus having to drive, 20 minutes, 30 minutes that way.
It's all right there where you need it to be. And I feel like these days, to your point with downtown growing, it's like you get that diversity no matter what. Downtown is creating like this reputation where people are driving in from all over now, where it used to just be very localized. There was nobody that came down here, which we obviously talk about all the time on here. But it's like now you have all those people from each direction coming to you because, again, you guys have built who you are and what you are. So that's also why people love to come down here and support you guys.
That's why we like downtown. You have anything else to say about downtown?
I mean, I think personally I love downtown. I always wanted a spot where we could go, and walk to it and not feel like everything's so far away and I have to drive to it all. We talked about moving to a big city actually right before we opened the food truck. It was like, should we just move to a big city? Like we could live downtown.
I feel like
everybody
downtown has that talk. Me and Hunter were like, should we go to like Chicago and like leave here? And I was like, no, but like, and maybe it goes back to your point of you guys were like, we want our places to feel like the places we go to when we go to a big city.
Yeah, you're bringing it to Fort Wayne, which is great. So do you guys live downtown then?
We just moved actually.
Really?
We moved in last year, March. But we lived downtown for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so we used to live in New Haven.
Okay.
We sold our house. I was like, you know what? I'm done with the house. We didn't have
Right.
time either
Yeah.
to like maintenance the house and everything at that
Right.
time. So I remember we came home from like a snowstorm. We'd been working all day, and it was just like 4 or 5 inches of snow. And I was like, we're not doing this. I was
No.
like, you know what? Let's look at an apartment downtown.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
lived on the landing.
Oh,
So we
okay.
would literally just walk downstairs
I
to
love
Medco.
that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So we
That's
would literally
super fun.
but then I had a second pregnancy, and
Okay.
we were in a walk up, like a third floor walk up.
Right.
And I was like, I'm also done with this.
She's like, nothing satisfies me anymore.
Oh man.
So, you just kind of go from like, oh, we're two single, like,
Yeah.
having
It's
fun
fun,
on the
yeah.
landing. Now
Right.
we have 2 kids, so
Yeah.
we should
Oh,
probably buy a
man.
house and
Yeah.
settle down. So that's kind of where we're at. But I love downtown. I think my only gripe with it would be like not a grocery store nearby.
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, I
It's
know that's
true.
just preaching to the
It's
choir.
true.
Stop.
Yeah.
Let's not complain because maybe we're speaking it into existence.
No,
We-
yeah.
we need to manifest it.
We need to manifest
Actually, right
it.
over there by Spoke and Ivy, I'm like, that's right where we need to have a little grocery
Yeah,
store.
or in, like,
so-
Okay, I'm not gonna dive deep into it and complain because I love downtown and I love every building and I love everybody, but I'm like, there's so many empty spots that are huge. Why don't we put
Yeah.
a grocery store in one
But
of
we-
these?
I-
Let's go.
Yeah.
I
Like,
know. I
they're
was so excited
vacant.
when they were like, what was it? The Fitbit market.
Oh,
Remember that
where
was like
GK was
yeah,
gonna be. It was gonna be
pre-COVID.
like,
yeah,
I
that
was
was
excited
It
about
was
that
gonna be the
too.
whole bottom floor, and I was like, that's what we need.
Yeah.
And then it
It's
didn't
crazy
happen.
too because I think COVID really changed the landscape.
Yeah.
And so I think obviously it's still going up, I think, downtown.
Right.
But
oh yeah.
before then, there was like a huge drive where everyone was trying to look for a space downtown.
Right.
So we got in at the right time in a sense.
Yeah.
And also we stayed because a lot of
Yep.
people were dropping out at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm
And-
glad you guys did. I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys are glad.
The
you
Yeah,
did.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. Just like how he said, where there's all different walks of life and you could just bring together people. I think like when you talk about hospitality, that's really all it's about. It's bringing together people to enjoy a meal.
Absolutely.
That's so nice.
I agree.
So I'm going to ask you to end off this episode one question, and for each of you, or you can answer together. When you did live downtown, besides your restaurants, what was your favorite place to go to?
I feel like we just went to like a lot of places, honestly. We would stop into Nawa for lunch quite regularly. We would
Yeah.
stop into Bistro Nota and Tolan pretty regularly for
Okay.
dinner.
Yeah.
If we would just felt like not walking far, that's like
Right.
where we went.
Yeah,
Dude,
the
'cause it's just-
vicinity radius.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right
But
there.
I mean, I love all our places downtown. I'll walk down to JK's.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
make excellent whiskey sours, which I
Really?
I
Okay.
would have never thought, but they make really good whiskey sours.
Well, they have a really
and-
nice whiskey list.
Yes,
so,
yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for their sandwiches. So,
Okay.
you know, Proximo's right there, right across the street. So I
Yeah.
feel like we would really go everywhere. And that was like the nice thing too, is that there was so much diversity.
Right.
Or there still is, but
Yeah.
there's so much
Yeah.
diversity that you can be like, oh, I don't feel like eating that today. But you know
Right.
what? Here's another
Right.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Burgers,
fills
we
that.
got
We have a
So-
great food
Yeah.
scene. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys are continuing that food scene, but also bringing in, like you said, duck pin bowling to make it a fun environment so you're not just going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I feel like everybody's going to love and be so excited about that I can speak on because I see through your guys' social media, everybody
It's
is
excited.
and nosy about it.
What's your favorite go-to?
I think she described it well. It's like it's more or less about a specific place, but it's more the area to have that diverse like
Yeah.
cuisine level, diverse
Right.
price point. I mean, even going down Calhoun, if you consider that downtown to a point, right? Like West Coast Grill.
That's true.
Like I love that place, and I just feel like one thing for the viewers out there is that there's places like us that do focus on social media and whatnot, but a lot of places might not have the capacity to put it out there. But I feel like you should
100%.
describe, go and like look for your neighborhood places that aren't just
Yes.
these places that I think Mercado, again, I'm very self-conscious about our brand and what we are, especially in ethnic food. But I think that one thing we got to get over with, I think, is downtown specifically, is that there is some glitz or whatever it is in people's perspective. I think we're real people. We grew up in the town and we built these brands.
Yeah.
But there's other restaurants out there, like there's Pupuseria over on Wells Street, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that I, Michoacana over there. Like I think there's some good other places too that I think deserve your support as well.
Yeah,
and I
thank
think
you.
for us as a hospitality group, we want to, again, 100%, I won't lie to you, I want to be the best. I want to make sure that we're the best in hospitality.
Yeah.
If the food and drinks are great along the way, I think that's the easy part.
Right.
But
It's
if there's
how do you connect with
100%.
the neighborhood?
I love that you gave
environment.
shout outs to other places.
We're all about local.
We are all about
and
local.
that's what we want to
love
make
that.
this about.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure.
But awesome. Let's cheers. Thank you for coming on, and we appreciate your time.
And we
yeah.
will see
Thank
you
you.
at Black Rabbit.
at Black Rabbit
yeah.
for carrot cake.
Heck yes.
Cheers.